Hi, it's Annette Ba'u, and welcome to the Millionaire Insider. For the last 30 plus years, I've been advising and researching the top 1% and 2% of millionaires, and we created the Millionaire Insider channel to give back to you. We wanted to provide you real, practical insight to help you win in your business, in your life, and with your money. And today, my friends, you're in for a real treat. We're diving into how to program your mind. When I learned that we actually could impact our brain, we could wire it differently, everything changed, literally everything. And I'm where I am today, not only in my finances, but also in my life because of this training. And so I hope you really not only watch it, but really apply it. So please subscribe. That tells us that you like the episodes and it allows us to continue to offer them for free. And for any of you that want a Millionaire Insider mug, please go down and engage in the conversation. We give those to people randomly who engage. Today's training is brought to you by Mindset Mastery. You can go to millionaireseries.com/mindset and access this training. And we're diving into how to program your mind, but my friends, the most important thing you've got to do is you've got to master your mindset if you want to succeed. So go take advantage of this free resource. Again, millionaireseries.com/mindset. And we do have our normal disclosure that I have to provide. All materials and intellectual property are copywritten by the millionaireseries.com. The information we provide is not intended to replace investment, financial, tax, retirement, or any other advice, including healthcare advice. Before beginning a plan, you agree to consult with your own team of advisors and to review your situation. All participants agree to hold millionaireseries.com and its affiliates harmless for results achieved or not achieved, and all international copyrights are reserved. So let's dive into the content. How to program your mind to achieve your goals with ease. So for today's show notes and resources, please go to millionaireseries.com/106. For all shows and show notes, go to millionaireseries.com/MI. So today we have a real special resource, the Program Your Mind template. You can go to millionaireseries.com/RMT to access it. But this will help you follow along and it'll help you to reprogram your mind. So one of my favorite quotes is by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and it shares why programming your mind is so critical. He was a former faculty of Stanford University Medical Center, and he shares most people don't even acknowledge that their subconscious mind is at play, when the fact is it's 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. And we operate 95 to 99% of our lives from our subconscious programs. That limbic brain I talk about versus our prefrontal cortex. So let's dive into understanding your mind. When your computer is missing a file or it has a virus, you know that you must either load the file or remove the virus or your computer won't work. Our minds are very similar. Some of the files we have in our mind, our beliefs, our behaviors, our habits, are serving us and helping us to achieve our goal. And others aren't. Others are corrupt or need to be replaced. And that, my friends, is the key to achieving any goal. And that is why learning how to program and reprogram your mind is so critical. One of the best resources to help you to program your mind is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. You can go to the show notes or you can go to millionaireseries.com/books to find the one that I like best. There's one that I really love. There's several of them, but there's one that I think is really stellar. Let's look at the brain. We've got the left brain. This is the logical part. Math, language, reading, writing, analysis resides here. And then we've got the right brain. Personality, creativity, intuition, music, art. They used to think that it was really separate, like you had your right brain, your left brain, but now they know it's very integrated. We've got to understand that when we're operating just from our more right brain, we don't have full capacity of what's possible when it's our right and our left. And when we combine that with our limbic brain, which is our primitive brain at the base of our head, the brain that's 2 million years old, and we're just operating from that, we do really wacko things. We're not thinking clearly. We're in that fight or flight mode. And what we need is we need that prefrontal cortex to calm us down, to get us clear thinking. You know, where you have those great, amazing goals, like, you know, you want to be a millionaire, or you want to be financially free, or you want to be a top producer. Those come from your prefrontal cortex. Well, when your little limbic, afraid, there to protect you, conserve calories brain goes off, it's going to say, oh, no, 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 we don't want to change anything. That's why it's so important that when you're creating your day, not only from a business perspective, but from a family perspective, from a diet perspective, that we have a plan for the day, ideally the day before. That's why the T5, which a lot of you are familiar with, your top 5 activities you need to do each day, is so critical, is because it programs it into your subconscious mind. You're thinking about it from your prefrontal cortex, you're creating the plan, and then it gets your limbic brain to buy in, so you're not emotionally making decisions. You're not emotionally deciding if you're going to pick up the phone. You're not emotionally deciding what you're going to eat or not eat. It's so powerful, so effective. So let's look at the history of your brain. It's 2 million years old. It was not designed to be happy. It's designed to survive. Challenges and problems need beliefs that support them. They also need our focus and energy. How we look at the situation's up to us. So the first step to program or reprogram your mind is you got to get in the driver's seat of your life. Just like a computer that has a virus, if you're thinking wrong thoughts, it's going to affect you. Programming your mind begins by slowing it down. It takes 66 days to change a habit, so we've got to be careful and we've got to be easy on ourselves. You know, a lot of people thought it was 21 days, but that was from psychocybernetics, and the doctor basically said, I think it takes about 21 days to change a habit. He didn't do any studying of it. It wasn't until the University of London came out with their study showing it takes between 18 and 254 days to change a habit, on average 66 days. When you slow down and quiet your mind, you become present, conscious, and focused. This allows you to be present. It allows you to be in the current moment. It allows you to set your intention and to tap into your intuition and inner guidance. Some critical elements are making sure you're getting enough sleep, 7 to 8.5 hours a night, and no stimulus before you go to bed. 60 to 90 minutes, no TV, no phone, no computer, nothing that stimulates your nervous system. You should ideally wake up without an alarm clock. Absolutely critical, absolutely important. So where does the challenge begin? How many people do you think set a goal on January 1st and by the 10th of January they've already given up? What percentage do you think? One study showed 92%. I mean, that's hard to believe, right? But see, the problem is if we don't have our prefrontal cortex, our rational, sane mind, aligned with our limbic primitive brain, our subconscious mind, if those two are not aligned, it doesn't matter what happens. You're never going to achieve your goal. That's why it's so critical that when you get one of those great ideas, you then are able to align it with your subconscious mind. And that's why it's so critical in episode 107, where we dive into goal setting, that you're stating those goals in I am or I active verb. I provide you the step-by-step guide on how to program your mind through your goals. Very powerful, very important. Our brain, as we discussed, is efficient, and it's designed to protect us and conserve calories. And it's designed to protect us if a lion's going to eat us or some scary thing's happening. The problem is so many of us have not learned how to handle that, how to work with it so that it doesn't get into those fear states. The reptilian brain dictates our subconscious beliefs. When it's hardwired via neural pathways, which are our habits, we search out what supports that belief. And the subconscious mind is going to win the majority of the time. To change an outcome, we need to change our hardwired neural pathways. And you may be saying, well, how? The first step is we got to program it. As I mentioned, 66 days. So you create a habit. Yeah, you might fall off it, but you keep working at it. On average, 66 days, between 18 and 254 days. We've got to slow down, and we've got to get in the driver's seat. And one of the most effective ways to do that is through breathing. Breathing in through your nose to the count of 8, holding it for 8, and then releasing for 12. Breathe into the count of 8. Hold it. And then release for 12. So let's just really quickly do a focused breathing exercise. Your hands should be flat or in the mudra if you feel fearful or worried, anxious, feet flat on the ground. And if you feel really joy-filled, above the grid, palms up, either flat or in the mudra, and then you breathe to the count of 8. Hold it, and then release for 12. Again, breathe in, hold it, and then release. Now, ideally, you do 5 of those, then you can do 5 of breathing in what you want more of, holding it, and you can release, I am fearless, I am fearless, I am fearless. It's ideal if before you have a really important meeting or you've got something going on that you really want to be laser focused at, that you do that focused breathing. And then right after it, set your intention. So powerful. It'll calm you down. It'll get you in the driver's seat. All right, let's look at the conscious versus the subconscious mind. So as we discussed, the conscious mind is creative. The subconscious mind is habitual, driven by habits, emotions. The subconscious mind's like a computer, you know, right here, right now. If you got a virus, you have a problem. So the problem is if we don't have our subconscious mind programmed to success, how are we going to ever achieve it? We're not. The conscious mind drives our willpower. It sets goals, it judges. That's why goals aren't effective without the subconscious mind. You've got to get that emotion involved. You just got to get the right emotion, not limbic, fearful, crazy emotion, but higher vibration emotion, love, peace, joy. It's so powerful, it's so effective. So the subconscious mind, as I said, is habitual. It monitors the operations of our body, our motor functions, our heart rate, our digestion. It wants to conserve energy and calories to keep us alive, to protect us, and to play it safe. We don't know when there's going to be a lion that could eat us, right? Our conscious mind thinks in more abstract terms and is conceptually based. It comes up with a great idea that you're going to do. It's super excited, and then you lose it. Why? Because your subconscious mind is not on board. The subconscious mind thinks literally through your 5 senses and is memory-based. The conscious mind is time-bound, past, present, future. So you can set future goals, you can see what's going on right now, what hasn't happened yet, whereas the subconscious mind is timeless. It's only interested in what's going on right now. So when you set your goal in a future tense, it doesn't work because your subconscious mind only cares about the right here, right now. That's why it's so critical to state I am or I active verb when you set your goals. So how do you program your mind? As I mentioned, the first thing you got to do is you got to slow down. You've got to slow down your mind. So what are some of the strategies to slow down your mind? It begins with your thoughts, and then your words, and then your actions, and then your results. It requires that you become and remain present, conscious, focused, and accountable. You've got to continue to monitor and refocus what you want, and you've got to determine when are you at your best. What do you have to do to get to your best? And you want to know that when you're not limbically triggered, when that subconscious mind, that limbic brain is not going off. Identify what gets you off track when you're not at your best, and then determine the steps to get you back on track. So this is really important. We talked about the focused breathing. That's so powerful. But what you got to understand is that there are primary strategies and secondary. An example of primary, silent meditation or focused breathing. Breathing slows us down. It allows us to get control of our emotions and our thoughts. Be here now. Breathing into the count of 8, holding it for 8, and then releasing for 12. Once you master that, you're going to bring so much focus and control into your life. Examples of secondary strategies include prayer, gratitude, journaling, guided meditation, chants, yoga, silent walks, massage. You've got to make sure that you are really clear on what you want, because what you've got to do after you calm down that limbic brain is you've got to make sure you're programming into it what you want. Most people know what they don't want. Very few people know what they do want. And it's not just kind of like, oh yeah, I'd like to be financially free. It's like, I really want to be financially free. You know, that goal that just ignites your fire. In fact, if you go to episode 104 with Dina Fliss, She sums up manifesting, taking something from the unmanifest to the manifest better than probably anyone I've ever met. So again, episode 104, you can go to millionaireseries.com/104. All right, mastering your ability to focus. You've got to master your focus on command if you want to program your mind. And the goal is to master your focus and attention so that you can complete the task at hand without distractions. Again, this requires that you quiet down your mind. And breathing and silent meditation are critical. They're the best strategies, and they are primary strategies, meaning you've got to start with primary strategies. So let me use the example of my cup. It's full of tea. So good. And so let's just say I started pouring water in it. What's going to happen? I mean, it's got that much. So I pour that much in, it's going to overflow, right? It's not going to go into the cup. I put too much lotion on my hands. Is it going to absorb? No. Same thing is true with our mind. That's why primary strategies are critical. Either silent meditation, which for a lot of people are really hard, and a lot of people have a belief we have to be like some Tibetan monk. It's hard. It's very hard because it's hard to control our mind. Focused breathing is much more effective for a lot of people. So I would start with focused breathing. But the reason we want to start there and not say with prayer or guided meditation or walks or things such as that is that we've got to train our brain. We've got to allow that limbic brain to calm down so that we can absorb what we want from other activities, other practices. And if we start with the other practices, it's like praying when your brain is going off in your limbic. How effective is that prayer? It's not nearly as effective as if you've taken the time to quiet down your limbic brain. That, my friends, is the key to really absorbing every practice you have. So your subconscious mind is a direct reflection of your thoughts and your affirmations. Simply ask yourself, is what I'm thinking, saying, or doing right now bringing me closer to my desired goal? If it is, continue. If not, then determine what you need to do to change so that you can get the result you want. That's why it's so critical. You've got to be crystal clear on what it is you want. The goal is to master your focus and attention so you complete the task at hand without distractions. To focus, you must master your ability to quiet your mind. Breathing and silent meditation are the best strategies to quiet your mind. Your subconscious mind is a direct reflection of your thoughts and your affirmations. Simply ask, is what I'm thinking, saying, or doing right now bringing me closer to my desired goal? If the answer is yes, continue doing it. If the answer is no, stop and determine what you need to do to change your answer to yes. When you slow down and quiet your mind, you become present, conscious, and focused. This allows you to set your intention and tap into your intuition and inner guidance. And it allows you to reduce stress and pressure and increase reserves. Your high-value activities and income-producing activities should become a habit, like brushing your teeth or wearing shoes. And it's much easier to accomplish if you're in control of your life and you're in the driver's seat. So you want to begin with your primary strategies. Focused breathing, so powerful, so effective. Take a couple deep breaths, breathe in through your nose, count of 8, hold it for 8, release for 10. Repeat this for 3 to 5 minutes. Begin your practice with 3 minutes, work up to 30. The goal is to master your focus so you can tap into it on command whenever you need to. And then you want to add in secondary strategies. Guided meditation, silent walks, prayer, yoga, chants, all of those things. All right, the first thing you got to do, my friends, is decide. This requires that you decide what you want, personally and professionally. You've got to get crystal clear clarity. Be really specific. We talked about how many people set New Year's Eve goals and then 2 weeks they're gone. Our brain's efficient. It's designed to conserve energy and calories. And our logical prefrontal cortex is part of the brain that makes decisions. The reptilian brain, which dictates how we respond, is going to drive you towards what you want and what you've programmed in. That's why it's so critical that you get really clear on what you want and that then you hardwire it into your subconscious mind. How to decide when you really don't know what you want. I hear this a lot. A lot of people say, I don't know what I want. In the 7 Principles of Becoming a Millionaire for Life, at the end of Chapter 1, there's a section called Releasing Mental Blocks and Core Beliefs. And I'm just going to give you an overview of some of the components. You write out the question with your dominant hand. For example, what do I want in my life more than anything else? For 10 to 20 minutes, answer the question with your non-dominant hand. So you've written it with your dominant, now you're answering it with your non-dominant. Pay attention to hits you get, such as an idea that looks promising or an answer that is exactly what you needed. Continue to write out the question until you are crystal clear on what you want to achieve. Sometimes you're going to get a new question, sometimes you'll get the answer. And to access the 7 principles of becoming a millionaire for life, you can go to the show notes or you can go to millionaireseries.com/7P. So the next thing you've got to do is you've got to determine why you want it. Why do you want what it is you're set out to achieve? The 2 most important days are the day you're born and the day you find out why. And that's a quote by Mark Twain. So Steve Jobs said, people say you need to have a lot of passion for what you're doing. And it's totally true. The reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. If you don't love it and aren't having fun doing it, you're going to give up. That, my friends, is why we have to have a level 3 why. So you've got to determine why you want it. Money is a short-term motivator. Your why is your long-term sustainer. And there are 3 levels. Level 1, where I live, what I drive, what I earn. All about I. Level 2 is all about my or we, my family, my business, my community. Level 3 is bigger than you or your immediate circle. It's bigger than I or we. For example, your legacy, the difference you make, the impact you make, the lives you change, who you serve on a macro scale. For example, I provide all women facing a life transition the tools they need to live a financially free life they love. That doesn't mean you're going to work with all of them, but you're providing them the insight and the tools they need. Level 1 is important, but it only takes us so far. Level 2 takes us further, but when you get to a level 3, your passion and your purpose ignite and you become unstoppable. So the next step is, what is your worth barometer? So we've got to understand our worth barometer when it comes to programming our mind, because we really ideally want to elevate it, because our worth barometer is our beliefs and our self-esteem. And without a healthy worth barometer, you won't have the discipline or the belief that it's possible to program your mind. So why is your worth barometer so important? So I've been studying the worth barometer for over 20 years. And what it's comprised of is your beliefs and your self-esteem. Harvard did a study of 16,000 sales representatives, and they found that the #1 determinant of success was your beliefs. I mean, that's just crazy, right? But it dictates everything about our life, not just our wealth, but peace of mind, happiness, and joy. That's why if you want to be a happy, healthy millionaire, you've got to have a healthy worth barometer. It's virtually impossible not to. You know, you can have money. The problem is if you have a low worth barometer, you're going to have an unhealthy wealth barometer, and you're going to be on that roller coaster. Money, bankruptcy. You know, people brag about it all the time. It's just basically a symptom of an unhealthy worth barometer. They're not making the right choices. They're not taking the right steps, and that's the impact. So if you want more insight on your worth barometer, you can go to episode 105, millionaireseries.com/105. The only way to really have an amazing life is to have an elevated, healthy worth barometer. So you've got to make that a priority. Your worth barometer is going to allow you to show up at your A game. And when you show up at your A game, you make different choices, better choices, choices that allow you to achieve your goals with ease. And you do the things that others won't do or say they can't do because they're too busy. So the worth barometer is measured in a grid, and I know sometimes it can be a little bit challenging, a little bit triggering. Above the grid is higher energy, peace, love, joy, doing what you need to do to achieve your goals. Below the grid, worry, fear, anxiety. When we show up vibrationally above the grid, we attract ideal people. Think about how you feel when you're having a great day or when you're not. Think about how you showed up when you attracted an ideal client versus when you attract a nightmare client. Fascinating. Raising your worth barometer Where you focus expands the energy field. So choose your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions carefully. You can go to episode 105 on how to elevate your worth barometer. Again, millionaireseries.com/105. So releasing mental blocks and core beliefs. I want to dive into this. We spoke about it a minute ago, but I want to dive into it a little bit more and walk you through this. The 7 Principles of Becoming a Millionaire for Life is where you find this, and it's at the end of chapter 1 in Releasing Mental Blocks and Core Beliefs. But whenever you have a question or something's not working for you, I want you to write the question out with your dominant hand, such as, who am I meant to serve? What's getting in my way of achieving the results I desire? And then you want to answer it with your non-dominant hand. The secret is to write out or journal each day for 10 to 30 minutes until you either get the answer, you see results in your life, or you get a new question. And again, you can go to millionaireseries.com/7P. But this is really powerful. So even if you don't get the 7 principles and you just practice what I've shared here, it's going to dramatically change your life, because what it does is it gives you answers to questions you need. I'm telling you, I have had thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people complete this exercise, and the results are unbelievable with what they come up with. And initially it's going to be very logical, well, it's because of the economy, well, it's because of this, because of that. And then as you start peeling away the layers of the onion, you get to the core, and that, my friends, is a game changer. So just try it and see what results you get. All right, you got to make it a reality. So how do you program your mind? So there's a few different ways, but you got to first of all understand that we've got a theta and an alpha brain waves, and a lot of times during the day we're in the beta state where we're very alert, awake, our nervous system is very stimulated. We've then got the alpha state, which is when we're really relaxed but we're still awake and aware, and then we've got the theta state where we are still slightly aware, but we're going into that light sleep. And then we've got REM, and then we've got deep sleep. So I want to talk about the theta and alpha states, because that is one of the most effective times to program your mind. And what you want to do is you want to be stating out your goals and listening to them when you're in that alpha and theta state, when you wake up in the morning or when you go to sleep. That's why it's so powerful to state your affirmative goals during that time. And again, episode 107 dives deep into that. You can go to millionaireseries.com/107. But this is how powerful it is, my friends. Subliminal programming is illegal because it's so effective. They used to allow in stores to have subliminal music playing, where you're basically stating something like, I buy the shoes, or something like that. In your case, you're going to say, I earn the amount of money in year with these. But in the case, what they found is that it was causing people to go buy things, and so it's actually illegal. It's that powerful. But the second way is through habit or repetition, continue doing it over again. Third is visualization. You want to see it become a reality. When we dive into the training episode on visualization, at my second home, which is up in the mountains, I literally visualized for 5 years, and it is frightening how similar it is. My third home, which overlooks the ocean, I visualized for 10 years. And I don't tell you that to brag, but the power of visualization, my friends, is so powerful, so effective. The fourth is your affirmative statements, I am or I active verb. The fifth is muscle reprogramming. Now, the key of muscle reprogramming is you really need to be in a live setting, but that is very powerful, very effective. Now, one of the things that they have found is that before age 7, our brains are in a theta state, kind of like a hypnotic state. After 7, through habits and repetition, it can take up to 18 to 254 days to change a habit, on average 66 days. But the first 7 years, that's why it's so easy for kids to learn another language. You've got to be able to see your vision. You've got to see it and believe it before you can achieve it. You can't have what you want until you are vibrationally ready for it. If you get it, you'll lose it. Pain is going to push you until your vision pulls you. That's Michael Beckwith. So powerful, so important. Who do you want to be? How do you have to show up to be that person? How will you feel? How will you act? What will you do? You've then got to set your goals. And we're going to do a deep dive into this in episode 107 in our next week in our episode. So dive into that, millionaireseries.com/107. But you're writing out your goals in I am or I active verb. And then you want to read, affirm them. Ideally, you are also creating those high value activities that are tied to them so they become reality. So powerful, so important. I earn how much money in year with ease. Now, if you get really nervous, you can say, I'm grateful and happy now that I earn how much money with ease, or I weigh how much pounds with ease. The power of 7 is a great way to program what you want and to show up above the grid. The goal is to program your goal into your subconscious mind. You want to read it, write it, listen to it, affirm it, and visualize it. State your goal, wait 7 seconds, restate your goal, and then repeat that 7 times. You can use marbles or pebbles to keep track of it, but I am or I active verb. So I earn $100,000 in year with ease. You wait 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. Repeat the goal, and you do that 7 times. It's so powerful, so effective. And the reason you use marbles or goals is so you can keep track, because it's hard to know which one you're on when you're focusing in on recording it. All right, visualize it. The process to visualize it, you want to sit in a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. You want to close your eyes and see it so it can become a reality, like it's already occurred, like it's already here. Ideally, you want to create a vision board or book. Both are very powerful, very effective. All right, putting it together. You can download Program Your Mind template here, millionaireseries.com/RMT. I'm going to just walk you through a couple elements of it. You want to identify what's working. So what's working in your business? 3 things that are working. What about in your life? 3 things. Identify what needs to change in your business. What do you want to change? What about in your life? What do you want to change? Then you want to prioritize what needs to change in your business. So what needs to change? And then you want to prioritize the list of what needs to change in your life. Restate the list in I am or I active verb statements. For example, in your business, I need to earn more money too. I earn $100,000 in year with ease. And follow that with all of your goals. Then you want to restate the list in I am or I active verb for your life. I need to spend more time with my spouse too. I spend Sunday afternoons with my spouse from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I know it may sound crazy that you're like, are you really affirming a statement of when you're spending time with your spouse? One of the things I have found in my research and also in my advising of clients is that the ones that have successful relationships schedule it into their calendar. The busy person, the person that is got a lot going on, makes their spouse a priority. Now, you may also have date night. You may also have, like me and my husband, do our best to talk every night. We do our best to eat dinner and eat meals as a family. So we have certain family rituals, and we really prioritize those. We make them a priority because what we know is that if we make it a priority, it's a lot more likelihood that our relationship is going to remain strong. And that's what I found with my clients. And so scheduling it into your calendar is a good thing. Now, if you're the more successful person in your relationship, you don't have to go tell your spouse you're doing that, but do it. Do it. Make sure date night's a priority. Make sure that you are scheduling time with the people that are important in your life, your family, your friends, because my friends, that is so critical. And when you're on your dying bed, you don't want to be saying, oh, well, great, I didn't spend enough time with them. All I did was close one more deal. Make sure you have that balance. And you have that balance by scheduling it in your calendar. I know that sounds kind of cold, but it's not. What's cold is if you're then spending time with them and you're not really there, like you're kind of somewhere else. And that, my friends, is hard. That's why this program is so important, because we've all been there, right? I mean, probably before you knew this, you might even have been there, but I was. You know, it's like I'm sitting there, you know, at dinner with my husband, I'm thinking about all the things I have to do. No, I do everything in my power to really get centered, really focused, and when I'm with him, be with him. And that, my friends, is a key to an amazing relationship. So don't forget it. Don't forget it. So powerful. What primary strategy will you incorporate to quiet your mind so you can better focus and more easily program your mind? So write it down and then practice it. And then what secondary strategies will you incorporate to quiet down your mind so you can better focus and more easily program your mind? All right, let's look at some tips to help you program your mind. You want to be drinking 50% of your body weight in ounces of water each day, eating lean protein, non-starchy organic vegetables, healthy fat, avocado, olive oil, complex carbohydrates. Eliminate or avoid coffee, alcohol, sugar, fruit juice, gluten, flour, and soy, especially if it's soy protein or isolate, where they've separated it out. Get adequate exercise, ideally 20 to 40 minutes of cardio each day, 20 to 30 minutes of stretching. Restorative yin yoga is great. Kundalini yoga is great. And then 20 minutes 3 times a week of weight training. You want to begin your day with focused breathing, and I like to follow it with restorative yin yoga. So I've been practicing yoga for like 30 years, and I'll tell you, it's hard, especially Kundalini yoga. Restorative yin yoga is hard too, especially initially, because I used to be so non-flexible. But I've grown 1.5 inches by doing restorative yin yoga. In fact, my doctor was like, "You're growing. People your age don't grow. As you get older, you shrink. What are you doing?" And I said, "I do restorative yin yoga," because what it does is it stretches the fascia between the muscle and the bone. And initially it's so hard. Even if I've got to catch like a really early morning flight, I still do it. I do a mini version of it, but it is so powerful, so effective. I do it in the morning, and then I do a brief vinyasa in the evening. And I know in our members area, in our mastermind, I've got my entire vinyasa. I did it when I was down in Puerto Vallarta on the ocean. But maybe at some point I'll share that with you. If you tell me in the show notes you want that, I'll consider sharing that with you because it's so powerful. Consider exercising first thing in the morning. There's a 95% more likelihood you'll succeed if you exercise in the morning. And then always you want to combine the cardiovascular exercise, stretching, and weight training. The goal is to wake up without an alarm clock. That tells you that you're getting enough sleep. So please subscribe and go down and comment so you can get your Millionaire Insider mug. We've got several of those, and it's so fun to give those away. People love them. We get pictures of those, and I love it. Again, you can get the template at millionaireseries.com/RMT to reprogram your mind. And this episode is sponsored by Mindset Mastery. millionaireseries.com/mindset. My friends, if you don't master your mindset, it is very, very difficult to be able to program your mind, to be able to achieve the goals you want. And in Mindset Mastery, we dive deep into what you need to do to program that. So please go access that. So there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. All international copyrights are reserved. It's an ongoing challenge. Every day I work to elevate my worth barometer, and am I perfect? No. None of us are going to be perfect. So don't worry about it if you mess up. We all mess up. The key is that we spend the majority of our time above the grid. We spend the majority of the time aligning our conscious and our subconscious minds so that we can achieve whatever we want, and we can create the business and the life we desire. So thank you so much for attending. This is Ep106, host of the Millionaire Insider. Now you just need to go do it. Bye now.